In life, people are often judged too quickly. A man with worn clothes is called poor. A man who struggles is called a failure. But sometimes the very people who laugh the loudest know the least about what tomorrow holds. Because life has a strange way of rewriting stories. Sometimes the person everyone laughs at today becomes the person everyone admires tomorrow. And this is the story of a poor farmer, a man the entire village mocked. Far away from the busy cities, there was a small farming village. Life here moved slowly. Farmers woke before sunrise. Merchants opened small shops. And every evening the villagers gathered beneath a large tree, sharing stories about success and failure. But there was one man they talked about more than anyone else. His name was Kofi, the poorest farmer in the village. His farm was small, his tools were old, and year after year, his harvest was smaller than everyone else's. Yet every morning, Kofi returned to his farm, working quietly, without complaint. "Look at Kofi," they would say. "He works harder than everyone, yet he still has nothing." Some called him unlucky, others called him foolish. But Kofi never argued. He simply smiled and returned to his farm. Every evening, Kofi returned home to his small hut. Sometimes dinner was rice, sometimes cassava, sometimes very little at all. But no matter how small the meal, Kofi always gave thanks, because he believed something important. Months earlier, during the rainy season, Kofi began doing something unusual. He started digging trenches across his land, long, narrow channels in the soil, day after day, slowly, patiently.
"Why waste your time digging holes?" they laughed. "Rain falls freely from the sky." But Kofi ignored them. He kept digging because he was preparing for something no one else expected.
While the rains fell, Kofi built a water storage pit beside his farm. Every rainfall filled the pit. Every trench guided water across his land. The villagers laughed again, but Kofi kept preparing. Then one day, the rain stopped. Days passed, then weeks. The land dried, crops began to die, and fear spread across the village. But something strange was happening. In the middle of the dying fields, one farm remained green, alive, healthy. And that farm belonged to the poorest farmer in the village, Kofi. The villagers stepped closer. They touched the crops. The leaves were strong. The soil was moist. It made no sense. "How is this possible?" one farmer whispered. The same sun destroying their crops was shining on Kofi's farm. Then someone noticed something on the ground. Small channels carved into the soil. The trenches Kofi had been digging. At the edge of the farm, a pit filled with rainwater, saved months earlier. While others celebrated the rain, Kofi had been preparing for drought. Suddenly, the villagers remembered something. The laughter, the jokes, the insults. The poorest farmer was the only one who had prepared. As the drought continued, more villagers came to Kofi's farm, some curious, some desperate, because their families were running out of food. Kofi didn't laugh at them. He didn't remind them of their insults. Instead, he began teaching them. Kofi harvested his crops, but he didn't keep the food for himself. He shared it with families who had nothing left.
Soon, the villagers began copying Kofi's method. They dug trenches, they built water pits, and slowly, hope returned.
For the first time in years, the village worked together, not competing, but learning. Days passed, then weeks, and slowly, the land began to heal. The laughter disappeared. In its place came respect. People asked Kofi one question. How did you know the drought was coming? Kofi smiled. I didn't, he said. I simply prepared for hard seasons. And from that day forward, the villagers never laughed at preparation again. Sometimes the people who seem slow today are simply preparing for tomorrow. Have you ever been underestimated by others? Share your story in the comments. Your story might inspire someone today. And if this message touched your heart, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to Motivation for Everyday Living for more powerful life stories.